This time I've got a couple of short stories for you. 3 different stories, 3 different ways in which Rostrum Careers helps and support the candidates from the moment they join until they land their dream job. First year student who I'd worked with from the age of 16, got into Imperial. Okay, the second one, she actually ended up with 2 offers, one from the last one targeting Oxbridge, did everything I said, and got into. If you can't get to be president of a society, if you can't get to be vice president of a society, what can you do? Very simple. You set up your own society. This time I've got a couple of short stories for you. I mean, we've got lots of videos and the podcasts and the interviews, and it's sometimes useful to give some real stories about how, despite following almost all of the guidance and the instruction, both to get into university and then to how to make the applications for whether it's for tech companies, whether it's for consulting companies, or whether it's for banking or law, etc. There are challenges that arise along the way. These are highly competitive industries. Do something extra in order to actually achieve the goal that you want. The Rostrum Careers program is from the time that you join, which can be whenever from the age of 16 onwards. Yeah, really, that early, many people join, until you get a job. So it doesn't matter if you actually go all the way through your undergrad and then onto the master's. Once you're on the program, you're on the program. Okay, so the first example was of a first year student who I'd worked with from the age of 16 to help him get into a top university. Got into Imperial to study physics. So he did all of that and immediately joined the societies at university that were most relevant. As I've said before, it's important to see if you can become first year representative in some way to show that you're already getting actively involved within the society. He didn't get that. Many reasons. So what we needed to do, if you can't get to be president of a society, if you can't get to be vice president of a society, what can you do? Very simple. You set up your own society. So this requires an understanding of the rules of the student union, which means you've got to get a group of people together, usually 4 or 5 or 6 people. You've got to match a need that is not yet being serviced by other societies, because the area that he had looked at was where the teams that were focused on this within the particular banks and financial organizations was expanding because it's a hot topic. Why is this important? Obviously, he was president, so that's a good starting point. So that goes on the CV. But the story, the bullet points on the CV of taking the initiative, of being proactive, of being able to navigate through the complex system of a union's and the student union's rules and regulations, at the same time maintaining a first class in terms of actual academics, highly admired during applications. Actually, he ended up getting three spring insights, 2 in classical finance in banks, and 1 in the finance department of a beauty company, a global beauty company. Okay, the second one is the reason I've chosen the second one is it's pretty much the exact opposite. Her resilience was excellent, really, really excellent. Organizing the funding, organizing which universities would play best into both in terms of their relationships with the financial organizations. And so she'd gone and done TED Talks. She'd been speaking in front of 500 odd people and was a very confident speaker. She actually ended up with 2 offers, one from a bulge bracket, same as her brother, and one from a boutique bank. The last one is it's not for banking, you'll be glad to hear. It's for law. And again, this person had worked with me from age 16, targeting Oxbridge, did everything I said, and got into Cambridge to study law. So just over a year later, back he came, saying, didn't get anything, I'm doing something wrong, it's more complicated than I thought, even if you're from Cambridge or Oxford, and I need help. So went over the previous, did an autopsy basically, went over the previous applications, and so we went through it all, got through to a far higher number of interviews. He had his target firm, ended up having offers from, it was either 2 or 3, I can't remember. But again, he got the firm of his choice. 3 different stories, 3 different ways in which Rostrum Careers helps and support the candidates from the moment they join until they land their dream job. It's doable. You can get this, and maybe, because there are certainly people out there who do get these jobs on their own without support. It's just a hell of a lot easier with support. Okay, thanks.